It's 42 degrees outside right now. But the sun feels so nice. I don't think I'm Canadian. I think something went wrong there. Hey, so I've been here in Australia for almost a week and a half exactly now, and I've been getting a lot of questions about what I've been up to, and I figured it would just be easier if I just make a video. And since I've been filming some training videos for work, I have my camera all set up already, and I thought I would just segue that nicely into maybe making some regular travel videos to keep you guys up to speed on what I'm doing. So I posted some videos, and I'll add some here, of what it was like flying into Sydney. And I swear, you descended into that smoke cloud that was just densely hanging over the city, and right away you could smell the smoke on board. It was like when you're driving through a skunk smell and your ventilator in your car like gets all of that nastiness. It was the same thing, but with the plane. I didn't think that could happen, but there you go. So we descended into this really apocalyptic looking world with sort of greenish, brownish smoke just thickly hanging over every building top. And I intended to stay in Sydney for 5 days, but I was having trouble breathing. Luckily, I got myself a smoke mask because I am used to pollution from Korea. So my friend recommended that I just take off a little bit earlier, which I ended up doing. So I only really stayed in Sydney for a day and a half-ish, and I spent my main day in Sydney just chilling around the botanical gardens, because that's really the only thing I wanted to do aside from the Australian Museum, but it was closed anyway for renovations. So right now I am in Grenfell, which is about 6.5 hours inland, which is the farthest inland in Australia that I've actually ever been. And already I can see a huge difference, not least of all because this town is tiny. I'm gonna have to check my facts on this, but I think there's only a couple of thousand people who live here. It was a very easy trip, 3-hour train journey with an immediate bus transfer, another 3 hours on the bus. And everybody was very confused as to why I was coming all the way out there if I wasn't doing farm work, which I say everybody, I just mean the bus driver. But I was the last one on the stop. Really, there's nobody who comes here. There's no tourism. There's just one main street, and it has the quintessential Australian big three for towns, which my friend has told me are a pub, a church, and a Chinese restaurant. So I've sampled the Chinese restaurant. It was surprisingly delicious for being in the middle of the Australian outback. And yeah, that's basically what I've been up to. It's been really wild. The scenery here is gorgeous, and you get those really, really tall blue skies and the gnarled craggy trees and those burnt yellow canola fields with the super red dirt. And those parts are maybe a little more sad because the country is actually going through a really intense drought, and it has been for about 3 years. So that means that it's essentially 3 years without any significant rainfall. And a few weeks ago, I can't remember when, there was actually a record day in Australia because for the first time in recorded history, there was no rainfall at all anywhere in the entire country. Things here are pretty dry. We haven't had too much of the smoke coming out here, which has been nice, but we have had it for the last 3 days out of my approximate week here. So in the mornings and in the afternoons, usually late afternoons towards evening, you can sort of see the dust and the smoke settling, which has given some excellent sunsets and sunrises. But that's the silver lining of a significant problem. I haven't had that much time to do any art yet. I would like to do that in the near future now that I'm catching up with work, since that was a little bit of a struggle for a while. But I have decided that I'm going to have this page in my sketchbook that I'm going to just use to keep track of all the places that I'm going. And I'm going to mark where I end up after I travel to each of these places. So that's that. And then I have prepared this one, which I'm going to be painting soon. I can't wait to do this because there were just these really cool magpies that were walking across the street. And then you get all the wonderful blue sky up above. So I'm gonna have fun doing that and playing with the colors a little bit. But anyway, that's all that I'm doing for now. I'm off to Gerringong tomorrow, which is on the coast about, I want to say 2 hours south of Sydney. And then from there, I'm going to spend Christmas and I'm going to be traveling around Tasmania for 2 weeks after. So that is all. That's my update. I hope that it was informative, and I'm hoping that I can keep you guys up to date with my travels. So that's all. I'll see you later. Bye.